I'm going to say something that's going to make you proud. Watch.
And like I said, right, this is not just my show. This is your show. That's why it's called The People's Opinion. We are here for everyone's opinion, not just mine, not just the people on the panel, but you guys also at home. So as I said before, guys, because we never had any sound, if it gets a little bit too much for you, right, the door's right there. Don't worry. But if you want to argue. If you want to get this smoke, let's get this smoke, because it can get really smoky in here, you know. It can get really smoky in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. We're going to introduce ourselves and everyone tell people who you are and why they actually know you. Let's start over there.
What's going on
with
people?
This guy with his muscles out?
Yeah, what's going on, people? My name is Mark Cuban. The notorious, let's put it like this, aka the Flat Earther.
Why do we know you?
You know me for my strong opinions, many accusations. None of them stick, because you have a lot of people in this world that like to talk shit. But unfortunately, with shit with no facts equals more shit. So we keep it pushing.
Alrighty then.
How do I top that?
Next, how do you top that? Go for it.
Cool. So you may know me as Lauren's Secrets. I'm kind of new to social media, but I'm known for being that passionate cat mum, but also keeping it real on the TikTok lives, calling it as it is, spitting facts all the time.
Okay. What about you?
So now I'm going by the name as Big Pinks, but I'm formerly known as Yasmin Pink. And people will know me from the show Backchat. Okay. I was the girl that took her wig off and was going back and forth with another guy.
Can't say that I remember that, you know, if I'm honest.
Oh, is it?
Right, we're gonna get into this. As you guys may or may not know, I had a video go viral recently, and it was about a show called UK Baddies. Okay, UK Baddies was this show, and I had a lot to say about it because I don't particularly like it, and this actually feeds into the fact that I believe that feminism has affected Black women in a very negative way. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to watch the video. And I want to see what you guys think about it. So we're going to ask Jessie to play the video. Yeah, Jessie's going to play the video. And I know some people here have a little bit of a history with the people of Backchat. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
We'll get into that a little bit later.
You do know me then.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Video.
Yeah, let's watch the video. Is that playing for them, Jessie? Bloody, this new thing called UK Baddies. And I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
What is this? Like, what was UK Baddies?
UK Baddies, a bunch of fat Black women, right? Just with a gay best friend, right? And they're just arguing and fighting with everyone. I'm just like, is this what we've like come to?
But what is it? A group, a podcast, or like
it's a reality show.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Now a lot of these women on there ain't baddies. I don't know. Like, a lot of them have got weight issues.
Are they not thick?
No, they've got weight issues. They look like Michelin men, and it's like they're out here saying that they're baddies, and I'm just like, listen, I can't. If this is what Black women want for their entertainment, no other culture does this. I've said every culture in the world has their underground, has their underworld. The Spanish do, the Japanese do, the Muslims do, the Christians do, the Vatican do, whoever, just name it. They've all got that underground, underworld people that they know exist, but they don't really talk about it. The problem with Black people is they've taken their underground and their underworld and they've raised it to the surface and said, yeah. So that was a video that went viral. The Shade Barra posted it, as you can see. What do we think of that? What do you think of the UK Baddies? Has anyone seen the UK Baddies?
I don't think it's out yet.
Have you seen the stuff that I'm talking about?
I've seen the trailers. I've seen the production behind it.
Like the frying pan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, for people that don't know, what's a frying pan?
Oh, God. There was an altercation, I believe. People tried to run up on certain people in their accommodation, and then a frying pan became present in the CCTV or Snapchat.
She worded it perfectly.
Yeah.
Right, so someone got hit with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Cool. What do we think about UK Baddies?
Hold on. Before we get to the UK baddies, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah, of course. But we're talking about UK baddies. But go on.
No. It's in regards to the.
Yeah, go on.
Of course, absolutely. It's in regards to the.
Yeah.
I actually felt like there were some points you're making that was actually
valid.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
And I might represent the fat women that you're talking about actually, and the Michelin men that you're mentioning. However, we're not talking about me right now. Moving back to Joel.
You don't look fat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But this is what you call these women, yeah. And I'm just confused as to when you were talking about the show, where did the personal attack on these young girls, because there are some young girls on this show. We've all been watching it, we've been seeing the lives, you've seen the type of girls that are on the show. The producer at most is probably the eldest.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
We've got women as young as 19 on there.
Right. What, the fat ones? The fat ones. The big ones with put the mic closer.
Sorry.
Yeah, the fat ones. Are they 19? Am I lying when I said that it was a bunch of young, fat black women running around having fights with one another? Was I lying?
I don't know.
Where's fat coming from? There's so many other adjectives.
Have you not seen them?
What is their bodies got to do with them fighting though? Like, so what? Okay, let's. I'm
so if they were skinny, it'd be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
it wouldn't be.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
But I would have said a bunch of skinny black women fighting each other.
There's 100%. You wouldn't have said.
True.
Don't do that.
True. No, let's call it as it is.
Nobody is out here calling a bunch of women skinny women, even if you see a bunch of skinny women walking down the road. But if you see women that are beyond a certain BMI, you are gonna call them a certain name, or you're gonna stare.
But the thing is, the reason why I use their weight is because they're called baddies.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that a baddie?
No,
to you?
but insane.
Looking like that, is that a baddie?
Wait, what's the definition of a baddie? Just so we're very clear.
Put the mic closer to you.
At one point I had like a premium snap or whatever. Yeah, I'll class myself as that. Well, actually, I wouldn't class myself as that. I've been classed as that. Like, I can show you messages right now of random people that I've never met in my life, and these are the terms that they're calling me. But to me, I'm an ordinary babe.
So you're not a baddie?
To me, I'm an ordinary babe.
Okay. Would you class yourself as a baddie?
I wouldn't necessarily, but the description you've just given isn't negative. You just said young, what was it?
Young, attractive woman.
Okay. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And secondly,
we're not going to do that, guys?
They're being casted on a show. So they are successful because they're on that show and a lot of people aren't.
I think they've been cast. I agree with what you're saying, but I kind of go back to what you're saying. I agree with, in terms of why they've been casted, I don't think it's for their looks.
We don't know the
factual. No.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. The reason I believe they've been casted for it is because they have a certain criteria or character,
attitude.
That is that is requirement into
and that is not weight related.
And also baddies. For all we know, that could mean down to general well-being, meaning characteristics, aura, energy around them, the backstage as well. It can mean baddies in character.
That's
baddies
why
in
even
mentality.
when you asked me,
I know you want to look at it like that.
I didn't even list how I look.
Can we stop the lies, guys? Okay, can we stop it? The reason why they call themselves baddies is because we know that the term baddies is actually associated with a young, attractive woman.
That originates from Bad Girls Club, no? Let's call it
right. So are those fat black women baddies?
Okay.
Would you class them as a baddie?
No.
Look, hun.
Right.
Okay.
Would you class them as a baddie?
I wouldn't classify them as a baddie because they're
you see all these shows.
No, I want to see. Yasmin, you're being too politically correct.
I ain't being too politically. I watch these shows. Correct. I know these shows.
Would you class them as a baddie?
You see all these bitches you see on Bad Girls Club now.
Yeah.
They look good now, but they weren't looking good. They weren't looking good on the show. Do you understand? You might not think these girls look good, but you see whatever's coming for them. I'm not even in support of the show, by the way. But I'm just letting you know. Don't be surprised of how they look now. Do you understand? These girls are good. These girls are good. It's a show. Do you look good 24/7?
No.
Okay then.
But I wouldn't class myself as a baddie and then have my belly hanging out. That's not what I would do.
What is bothering you? Is it the show or is it the women that were casted for the show?
Listen, okay, so
because the concept of the show,
if you look at the show, if you look at what this show is called,
it's been done before in the UK because I heard you saying a lot of stuff. We have Geordie Shore, we have Jersey Shore.
No, but it's a different concept.
Are you mad? Have you watched Geordie Shore?
We don't even know the setup. Let's be honest. The title is a completely different setup. I get what he's trying to get at.
Broski, unless you've watched Geordie Shore,
no, I've watched it. We've watched it. It's trash TV. It's all the same.
Are you crazy? Exactly.
But in this, I think it's something completely different. I don't think it's like. I don't think they've got the.
Like I said, I'm not in support of the show, but I just feel like you guys are just going as men. You guys are just going well above what the concept of the show is. You understand?
Do you know what I've noticed, right? Women get to curse men out. They get to body shame men. They get to shame men's hairline. They get to shame all things about men. But as soon as a man calls something out of a woman, all of a sudden the women got problems. No, you're fat.
He's right.
So let's flip it.
I'm bald. So do you know how many people were in the comments saying, "Look at this bald guy. What does he think he's talking about?" I'm bald.
Yeah. No, to an extent, you got a point. You know what happened earlier on when you were like, "Oh, look at your big arms." Imagine I now said, "Look at your big ass." You would have taken it wrong.
No,
you would have taken it wrong.
Okay, the reason why I'm keeping
I get it because it's deemed as okay. I didn't take offense to it.
You know me, so what you're saying, I'm going to agree with you. I totally agree. I feel like women do get away with saying a lot of stuff.
Right.
I'm like, this is because growing up, I was called names. Do you understand? I didn't.
What kind of names?
We're not going to get into it, but I know that my mouth was a subject of conversation. It still is till today. Do you understand?
Right. Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is, growing up, I felt like I was treated in a certain way, or I wasn't attractive. Do you understand? So when I got older, I started doing certain things to myself to make myself feel better. I just felt
what does that mean? What do you mean you started making what, like hair, makeup?
Yeah, basically, even puberty,
right.
all of that hit. But what I'm saying is, after that, I just felt like I just had the confidence to talk down and say whatever I want to say about men because it's happened to me. Do you understand? But I do agree with you. Women do just body shame men, but I'm saying that I have my reasons.
But yeah.
So I have my
reasons.
So then how do we get to the point now where women it's okay for women to just body shame men and men can't say anything back? Is that what feminism's done?
Do you feel? I don't think it's 100%
feminism is a lot of bullshit.
It's got that hasn't got anything to do with feminism. Go and speak to a woman and ask her why she speaks of men in this way. I can guarantee you.
Her. That's what I see.
I'm not.
A lot of it's from her. A lot of it's from suppression of them feeling suppressed for such a long time. Certain women or class of women feeling suppressed for such a long time.
What class of women? Speak up.
Majority of women feel suppressed and feel like they don't have a voice, so therefore they tend to make up for it in other ways by I don't need a man, trying to match the energies, trying to basically deem men as completely useless because they felt some type of way. Some of them don't even believe in what they're saying. It's just a movement that headless sheep follow.
Guys, before we continue, we just got a super chat from Philly Vision, just donated 19.99. Thank you, Philly. So blessings, Mr. Garvey. Peace to the chat. Like what you guys are doing over there in the UK. I'm guessing they're from the US. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
But continue. Go on.
He was talking, Mark.
Yeah, I said what I said.
I think he actually has a point, though. I'm being genuine. Like, I feel like there are a lot of things. We're talking about feminism and politics. Then there are a lot of things that oppress women. But rather than sometimes going into political movement, we just go into an emotional movement. And I think that then stems from you're this, you're that, and the pointing fingers rather than how do I change that narrative.
This is what the show is about. I think initially No. Initially, listen, I know some of these people personally. I think the vision...
What, the fat ones? Is that the one you know personally?
You can't say that. That's a trip-up word.
Because I'm trying to understand why you're fighting so hard for them.
I'm not fighting so... Listen, I don't give a... I think the show is trash. Right. I don't think the show is productive. I'm speaking from someone that's been on these shows and come across as in a certain way.
Okay.
I'm not defending it, but I know the impact it's going to have on these women in the future. However, if this is what they want to do, let them do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm agreeing with the way women are carrying themselves today. But if a woman don't want you to open the fucking door and hold it for her, leave the door alone.
So then when
leave the door alone.
But you're saying
I kind of see it as grooming. I see it as grooming.
Right. So you're saying, hang on, wait. You're saying let them do it, right?
I see it as grooming.
I think part of the reason why things have got so bad in the West for black women is because they've been allowed to just do anything and everything and no one can question them and not held accountable.
No, that's not true.
We've not been allowed. That is why women are behaving the way that they're behaving right now. They've not been allowed. Listen, if you want to call it unruly, you can call it unruly. Yeah. I know you saw my interview. You know exactly what I said. Women have just clocked the game. Do you understand? And I didn't mean that on in a sexual way necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
People just took it as that. Do you understand? I didn't even just mean that in a sexual way. I meant that in a lot of areas. You understand, including sexually, whatever. But women have clocked the game.
And the game is what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I want.
That's it.
Because men been doing it.
Basically,
You will always.
But you're not
a woman
men.
will always lose. If you
Right.
think you're playing that game, you
If
will
you
always
think
lose.
you always
I didn't say
lose,
they
why-
were winning the game, but they're playing the game
will
the
always
best they
lose.
At the
can.
end
Because
of
I
the
can tell
day-
you for a fact, yeah, I'm not even trying to say this. If it spoils my market, it spoils my market. I could go on a run now. for the
Right, and
next
have
10
sex
years.
with loads of girls.
I'm successful. At the end of the day, I can decide to say, okay, I'm done now. Do you understand? I can now tell the girl, look, I've been through, this is my situation, but this is what I am now. No man, correct sense,
Tell them.
accept a woman.
That's
I'll tell
what
you
you
why.
guys think.
No, I'll tell you why. It's only
Let him
simps.
let him finish. Let him
It's
finish.
only simps, men that have no character, no backbone, no beginning, no end. Because I tell you for free, I don't care about body count. I'll be real, but I care about
A woman's
this.
body count.
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't judge, but I know what I want. And if you're telling me, if you've got the mouth and the audacity and the chest to tell me that you slept with a certain amount of men, you belong in the trash. Do you understand?
So
Men and women are not the same. No
Right,
matter.
right.
We are not
I
the
see
same.
why you guys have this
We
mentality.
are not the same. Look, women can have power. Look, I love a woman that's got authority. I love a woman that's got self-respect, successful. But I don't love a woman that boasts about, I'm a bad bitch. What car you driving? I'm driving it. Nigga, you're a dude.
All right, let's
You a
let-
dude.
Let's not.
Sorry, you're my
Colourful
guy, but
language.
That's the woman you're attracted to.
No.
That's the woman you're
Success
attracted
is not
to.
the success
That's
and
the
there's
woman-
arrogance. No, the success and there's blindness.
So you are attracted.
No, I'm attracted to a successful woman. You watch Suits? Anyone watch Suits here?
I've
No,
heard of it.
no,
but I
I've
don't
never
watch
heard
Never
of
it.
heard of
I
it? There's a
can't
black
pass
woman in
episode.
Suits. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
She owns the law firm. That's my kind of woman.
Right.
She knows herself. She's not a feminist.
Do
She
you
doesn't.
think the man that you are today, you're
Yeah.
gonna get that type of
100%.
woman? You really still think
Certified.
you still think you
Certified.
can run? Sorry,
You can- listen,
you
you know
still
what-
think you can run down this road and you're gonna get that
You know
babe?
what? You know why? You know
Ah.
why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because you think I give a shit about all these any girl.
Language.
Okay,
Go
sorry.
on.
My bad. Any woman, that thinks it's okay to act a certain way in public and think she can shame me. You can't shame me. What you're showing is you're crying about something that's happened to you in the past, and that's your outlet. Your outlet is public. You've got no self-control.
I think
You've got no self-control.
Is the problem that feminism has deluded women?
It's giving
into
the
thinking
movement.
that they can do the exact same
It's
things as
giving
men.
them a movement. It's giving them a cause to believe in blindly. They haven't been taught the significance of it. It's like being a part of the BLM, Black Lives Matter. In order for you to say you want to march for something or believe in something, you have to understand the cause of that. You can't just say I'm going to march and then you get someone busts a shot and you start running because you don't really know what you're putting yourself into.
You're saying that black women don't know the cause that they're fighting.
I believe so. I believe that what they're fighting out of is blindness, frustration, a lot of hardship, and a lot of rejection. And because they've fallen into what we call the social construct, they don't even know what they're believing in. It's a trap that's been set by other people. They're walking into it.
Can I just say, right? Can I just say that you? Can I just say?
No, this one's pushing 40. This one's pushing 50. Listen.
Yo. See, that's age shaming. Yo, listen.
How is it?
I'm 36. Listen.
But you guys have a very old school mentality.
Pause. It's not old school
Yes,
mentality.
it's
No.
very old school.
Okay, Yasmin, I got respect. Big pink. I got respect.
But I look good though.
Yeah, cool, Yasmin.
I mean, I'm 42. I'm not like pushing 50.
Yo, listen.
Goodness
Sorry,
gracious.
you're not being dramatic.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's cool.
But I don't take it personally. But when you call women,
because I know her personally, I know there's certain forms of information, and this is not me degrading, that certain people don't have in their mindset, so they will never understand. Me and you, we're not talking the same language at this current time. The reason being is because I've taken the time to understand what's going on around me.
From your perception.
From my perception, so you believe, but it's not just my perception. It's someone that's I'm conscious. I'm conscious enough to, if I want to understand a problem and create a solution to it, I need to understand the beginning and why it's there. I believe that, there's people that profit from the feminist movement.
I was going to say this.
People that profit.
Let me just say. Let me just give you
millions.
Hang on, wait there. Let me just give you some facts. When the feminist movement started, right? When we go back to the 1900s, it was white women's fight with white men, middle class white women's fight with white men.
Yeah.
They wanted to go into the workplace. They wanted to vote and all this kind of stuff. Equality. What happened is at that time, both black men and black women were being oppressed. At that time. So black women taking on the fight of feminism made absolutely no sense.
Were they even allowed to?
They jumped on. They jumped on a bandwagon
because it was a way to get.
They jumped on a wave, and now what we have is Beyonce telling you independent women while she's with Jay-Z.
Okay, but
now we have
while
we have the Sukihanas of the world and the the Sexy Reds of the world talking about, oh, I don't need a name.
But who's losing?
Women are losing.
They're losing.
Firstly, all these women that you named are making good money with whatever it is that
They're
they
making
promote.
good money.
With
out of
Whatever
promoting
it is that they're promoting, they are
They're
patterns.
making good money
Very
at your
good money.
expense.
Huh?
Not
No,
your
it's
personal.
not
but they're
any of our
making.
expenses.
Hold on, they're making good money.
Niggas are listening. Excuse my
Wait,
language.
one at a
Men
time,
are
one at a
listening. Sorry, men are listening to this music as well. I'm very sorry to say, men are promoting this music.
100%.
What
So,
your
like-
saucy Santanas are? Your saucy Santanas are? Not like men.
But you
Men
knew-
don't care about
Wait a
Sexy
minute.
Red.
I swear you just knew the words though.
Do you know what's so funny?
But you just
I've
sing
not had a
along.
conversation
You
with
know
a man
you're
about
joking
like, bro,
listening
did
to
you hear
that.
that new sauce? Did you hear that new Sexy Red song?
I just feel like
No.
I hear, okay, jokes aside, I hear what you guys are saying, but I feel like you guys are really stuck a bit.
Why?
Quay.
Okay, why? Why do you believe that?
I know you personally, you are very stuck.
I am proud. I am proud. That's who I am.
You know what it is.
I'm proud that's who I am.
I feel like you're a very traditional
Person, yeah.
person. You're a very traditional man, despite what you attract.
Yeah.
You are what I know what you want. You've always been a traditional man.
Yeah.
But also I just feel like we're just in a bit different time now. With not just women, both men and women.
But does that mean it's a positive thing?
I feel like for women,
Mm.
there is just a little bit more freedom. I'm not saying we're trying to be.
I'm
like
gonna say
men.
something so wild.
Say it, like fuck it. Oh,
It's not
sorry,
even-
darling.
Say
Say it.
it's look. A man and a woman are built differently, right?
Mm.
So there's certain skills and attributes that a man has that a woman doesn't, and vice versa. Vice versa. Before you shoot, yeah.
Go on.
What I believe is
They're
men
listening
are-
to respond, not to listen to
Yeah.
understand.
But because of it all comes down to your trauma, which is suppression, right? So now you got a lot of women making some wild statements, doing some wild things, and then blaming it on us as the men. A lot
Like
of
what?
women,
What do you mean?
You know, I don't need a man, men are all trash, all these kind of things. But most of the times they can't take accountability
Is
because
this still-
their
is this still a
characteristics are
Because
toxic.
the baddies that I know,
No.
them
You
niggas
can't
are-
be a baddie. There's no such thing as baddie and a good woman. You can't have the two. You can't.
I thought you were gonna say you can't be a baddie. and
So
say
then
I
what's a
don't need
baddie then? Because I was asking you guys don't
A
class
baddie
us
is-
as baddies.
I said
Yeah,
I
a
think
baddie
what we all
to-
try to say is that it's not based on just image. You were focusing it.
No.
Yes,
If
yes,
my
he
boy said
was.
to me, if my
Yes,
boy
he
said to me
was.
that girl's a baddie,
Yes.
that means she's a 10-10.
Right.
And it's only image. We're not talking about her brain. We're not.
Right.
I'm not trying to fuck your mindset. You understand? We basically are the girl's
Okay,
fat.
this is a
Oh,
men's
she has
perspective.
No, but it's
when-
facts.
no, okay,
It's facts.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you do watch these shows, and I'm not talking about this baddies show, I'm talking about the shows prior to this. That they had baddies in America, they've had Bad Girls Club. The purpose of the show is more than looks. And when you watch the show, you will absolutely see it. They even have gone as far as bringing therapists on the show.
Because they
Okay.
look at
So
them
then-
as
so then would you say
complete
then-
degenerate people?
So then, hang on, wait. So then, would you say
Confused.
that the UK are now trying to model themselves off the US audience?
No, I just think Lani's just trying to make some money. I
Do
think.
you know I call it
what-
grooming? Do you know I call it grooming?
Grooming. Why do you call it grooming?
I'm gonna be very careful on what you're saying right now.
No, it's grooming.
I'm gonna be, and now I know.
grooming.
Now when you said it earlier, now I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
No.
very
I'm
careful.
gonna say
on-
it's grooming in the sense of I'm not talking about any individual. You want to talk about production, yeah? Let's talk about production.
Okay.
When you spoke about that show, they got therapists, and that's all for TV. It's grooming because you pick. It's almost like farming. Let me call it farming.
Yeah, you picked a
farm
certain
and you
type of
handpick a certain
people that need
because
this
you know
type
they're
of-
all fucked up in their head.
Yeah, but let's keep
Please,
it real.
language,
This is
guys, language,
business.
guys.
These
Sorry.
kind of shows is
It
business.
is
They ain't
business,
trying
but
to
it's
help no
grooming,
one.
but
They're
it's
trying
also
to
grooming.
entertain
but
us.
it's
This is
business.
grooming. But if you show,
and there were
if you
shows
show
before this show,
10
so why is this
successful,
one getting
if
so
you show
much?
10 successful black women, no one gives a toss. Yeah, you
Says
might.
who?
The views won't be that great. I'm telling you, the views
Black
will be like
History
10.
Month, they were dropping all these
100%.
successful women.
If you drop a show that shows black successful women, it won't get aired.
Are we talking about in the UK or in America or all over?
It won't get aired. It
I
gets
can-
aired to one or two channels. But when it's rubbish TV about a certain demographic, it goes all the way to the
That's
top.
got nothing to do with women then. That's got everything to just do with everything else.
Yeah,
How's that
because-
to do with women.
because I
Because
can
you're
get-
allowed, it's accountability. You can't let yourself go
Because
on there.
let's use the show for example.
Certain people go on there, innit? Why they want to go on there?
Okay,
Why
I
they want to be
understand.
known as
But
this?
Okay, let's use the show back chat. Okay.
Oh, you read my mind. I didn't want to send for it.
No.
Hang on, wait. Back Chat is a show
That was
that
created
both-
for people opinions.
that both you
Black
and
Baddies.
hang on, that both you and Mark have been on, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you say let's talk about back chat, go for it. Just so everyone knows that you guys have been on this show. So so you're talking from
Back chat was
experience.
created as a platform. It's for entertainment purposes, but it's real boys and girls with their opinions. Now, it's not supposed to be politically correct. It's supposed to show characters.
Yeah.
It's supposed to show you got some form of sense. It's supposed to show anything to do with anything for entertainment purposes. So if you were good looking, that's your business. If you were smart, that's your business. If you were just there for the crazy appeal, then that's cool.
Yeah. Entertainment purposes. This is what
trash TV.
So you were part of that.
Yeah, I was.
And they picked you. And they groomed you.
Yeah, I was. No, yeah, you can call it grooming.
So you were just
why
like
not?
these
You can call
weight issue women.
No, that's weight issue is nothing to do with because I'm not fat and I can never be fat because I love myself.
Okay.
Tell them.
I love myself. You clearly don't love yourself. If you're fat, you don't love yourself.
Honestly, this is
no. There's a
we're just
let's call
talking
this spade a
rubbish
spade.
here,
No.
We're just
Hold on. Why should I give a toss?
Wow.
If you're fat, what? I should date you because you're fat.
No one's asking you to date nobody.
So, but you just said now. What did you just say? Would you like to repeat
I said that
it?
you were part of something very similar to what you've been trash talking about.
Trash, but then you also mentioned these fat girls, right?
She didn't say the
What
word.
did you say?
I referenced weight issue.
Weight issue. Okay, cool. Yeah, fat.
Anyways, I'm gonna come off this whole body thing.
I'm not body shaming. If you're fat, you're fat. If you're skinny, you're skinny.
I just wanted to address. I just don't see the relevance of it when it comes to the show. Do you understand? I get that it's called Baddies, but there's more to Baddies, and because you guys are men and slightly in the older generation, you guys don't know what
the fuck. You're fat. Yo, there's been fat people since 19 BC. So
okay, Mark, I'm not on the slim side. I've never heard.
But you're not fat though.
Fat a day in your life.
Do you know what fat is?
You know I'm not a slim babe.
Do you know what fat is?
So you're telling me there's not girls that look like me on that show?
That's not fat.
But he's calling them fat.
No, you know the ones that I'm calling
okay,
fat.
Cool.
Say their
You've seen? I don't know their names. I've just seen them. They just look big.
Are you telling me a person got looking at themselves and know I'm fat? Because I'm sure a fat person knows themselves. Just like a skinny person knows.
See, the thing is, I think what it is, yeah. Well, another thing that feminism.
I'm not fat shaming, but
another thing that feminism has done, right?
Sort it out.
Hang on. Another thing that feminism has done, in my personal opinion, is that it has shown or attempted this delusion that it's sold to women that being big and being obese, is something to be celebrated.
Hang on.
Wait. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
And they stay
I'm not
bro.
even finished. You can have big women on the front of magazines talking about body celebration, all this kind of stuff.
It's a lie.
15 years ago, you were just obese. And people were trying to help you to lose weight. Now you're saying that you can be obese. I can go through a whole plethora of videos on Instagram and on TikTok where there are women who are clearly obese, critically obese, dressing themselves up, talking about, oh yeah, look how good I look. And you've got women in the comment section saying, yeah, girl, you slay.
Wait a minute.
Why are you lying to them?
Wait a minute. So what do you want people who are overweight to act like? What? Hide in
They
their
should
houses
be concerned.
They should be concerned about losing it.
You don't know
But
their
how does that-
personal
yeah.
life.
Do you know what?
Okay, for example, I'll say one of the girls.
You
on
guys
the
are
show,
celebrating obesity
right,
like it's some kind of
can I say
celebration.
Something? Can I say something? One of the girls on the show spoke about this was before the show. Shade Borough posted it. Something about HPV and she had surgery. Right.
What's HPV?
I don't know what it is. Is it something to do with fibroids or something?
No,
cancer?
Not necessarily. Cervical cancer, yes.
She has cervical cancer?
She didn't have cervical cancer, but
okay.
HPV can lead to that. If it's not tackled in time.
Right,
It can go on its own. I had it on one point. Shade Brother posted my thing as well, but my thing cleared up in it. We praise God. But on this person that was on this show announced that they had this thing and they had to do surgery. And I've done the research on this thing. It's not an easy thing. What I'm trying to say is we don't know what these girls are going through or have been through in their personal life. How can we just ridicule them for how they look? I just think that's bang out of order. I've genuinely gone out of my way. As I can cuss the show as much as I want, but I've genuinely gone out of my way to come and praise some of these girls because I thought, let me just see what's happening before I say my opinion. You know, they've got a 19-year-old sex worker on this show.
Doesn't surprise me.
You're not concerned?
No, because
that's how it's grooming.
There you go.
Okay, whatever. But my thing is that when I see something like that, I don't think.
So would you call that in bad? Is that in bad taste? Is that the wrong thing to do? Put a 19-year-old sex worker.
It depends on what the purpose of the show was. But from what we've seen,
is that a girl? Is that a girl? Yeah,
it's a girl. But from what we've seen, it doesn't look like it was productive for this young. I don't think this show would have been productive for what we've seen.
But remember, if we go back to what you were saying, you guys were saying, basically women can do what they want because that's what feminism's done. This 19-year-old sex worker can do what she wants. But now what you're saying is, oh, do you know what? I don't think it's right. So now when I say something that I believe is wrong, it's not okay. But when you say something that you believe is wrong, now it's okay. You're saying there's 19. I'm with you. I don't believe a 19-year-old sex worker should be on the show. Exactly. But where do we draw the line as to who should be on the show? Okay, well, if the concept of the show was genuinely to help the girls, I wouldn't be against this young girl being on the show. Maybe she does need the help. But like I said,
it's clout. Clout is killing off.
But we've seen all the clips. Unfortunately, that was not the purpose of the show. There was a lot of drama, a lot of fights. Like you mentioned, sweetheart, you mentioned the frying pan. Do you know what I mean? Girls running up in people's houses. He looked like your YouTube videos right now. Sorry. So what I'm trying to say is like I've gone out of my way to study this show in it to make such an opinion that you made. I just felt like you literally just saw clips and the surface of the show, and you made quite a huge
huge generalization
on these young girls. Like
but you keep saying they're young. They're old enough to make a show.
Listen, I did not say they're underage. I didn't say they're minors. I just said they're young.
Are they old enough to make their own decisions?
Of course they are. Everyone on that show is old enough to make
right. So if you're old enough to make your decisions, you're old enough to be on the show, and you're in a show that's reality show for the whole human populace to watch, just like this show is, people are going to critique it. They're going to have their opinions.
You've been on TV before? You've been on shows before?
100%.
All right, you went viral. You saw the comments. They were chatting rubbish, saying,
of course, they were talking all kinds of stuff about me.
What I'm saying is, you've done it before. These girls haven't. So when I saw this, I was more like, this is a shame. What a shame. I get what you're saying about the show, right, and about black women,
right.
And I'm speaking as someone that's been on ratchet shows. And if I can go back in time,
you would,
and maybe adjust my tone at least.
You wouldn't do it.
I will try to. Why wouldn't I? I'm much older now.
I think it's a lesson to everybody.
Some of the things I've gone viral for, some of the things I've said, this was 5 years plus. When I was on Backchat when I was 25 or 26. I'm going to be 31. So if you asked me now,
so you're pushing 40.
Hey, that shot bounce off the.
That's what she said about you, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what she said about you.
They both ducked. Ping.
Yeah, that's what she said about you. So you're pushing 40. But go on.
Whatever. You get the point.
So, but basically, what you're saying is you've learned from the show that you were on.
That was sassy.
And not just the show, the impact, the viral moments, all these things they're doing live, the cussing, the diss tracks. Listen, me and the producer, we were like this.
Right.
So I understand what's happening here, but this has always been something in our community. If it wasn't them,
is it good or bad though? Is this good or bad then?
Unfortunately, we are consumers, and until we stop engaging with this type of stuff, until we stop promoting this stuff, until Shade Bauer stop posting this stuff, this is always going to be a part of what's going on. They posted Letitia Grace the other day. Bless her, she went through an ectopic pregnancy. Now, at one point, Letitia Grace.
Who's that?
She was on Big Brother. She was
I'm not getting involved. All right, cool.
Anyways, there you go. The fact that you guys don't know it, the way they used to post it back in the day compared to the way they post it now.
Is that not because of her body? No?
She got her body done, but she was on a show and she was on Big Brother and she bent over and her dress ripped.
Oh yeah.
Her whole pants, her whole bum was on national TV. Thank you. But look at the way she's being posted now. Eventually, she had to say to herself, "I've got kids now. I no longer want to engage in this." So we are all responsible for this trash TV. As much as we're cussing it, there are people in there waiting and dying for this show to come out. They're going to pay that $2.99. And guess what's going to happen? Shade Bauer's going to post a snippet.
So are you holding Shade Bauer accountable, saying that they shouldn't post a snippet?
I'm saying all of us are accountable because whether they post it or not, we go out of our way to look for it or we see it somewhere. Someone posts it.
Well, there's no supply, there's no demand.
So you're saying you think Shade Bauer is the problem?
No, they wouldn't have nothing to post.
All these girls that are on the show, they all have platforms.
No, what I'm trying to say, listen, Shea, you can't hold Shea Borough accountable.
No, I'm not.
Because they're a business.
But I'm saying we are accountable. We are the consumers.
But that's
yeah,
an
so then
unrealistic
what she's
target.
saying is she's flipping it. She's saying if we take away the demand, they won't go looking for the supply.
So do you understand?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'm saying we're kind of saying the same thing. Is it good for the community? No.
Let me tell you
but
what I think
it's here to stay.
Let me tell you what I think the problem is. Yeah, we can look at all these Shea, because all of these people are all small players in the actual bigger game. If you know what I'm talking about, a lot of these people, including myself, you can say clout. I always say clout kills a lot of people. Yeah, because we're all doing things for attention because we've all got bigger issues that we're hiding from and running from. I believe most of these individuals who are running to this, it's like, I feel like all of a sudden, all these trash TV shows are an outlet for people to express a cry out for help. Even if they're doing it in the wrong way, I believe it is. Because why else would you have a 19-year-old sex worker going on TV
when I
finish her completely? Finish her, like, is she gonna get more clients?
Guess what? From what I can see, this girl's not even going to be a part of the show. So this young girl's left whatever she was doing, gone on this show, done whatever she's done in this show.
Big face, big name.
You understand? Put her name out there. Poor girl. I think her name's Amy. I'm even going to big her up. I'm going to big her up. I'm going to big her up because I'm not even sure what's happening with her. And Amy, sweetheart, I don't know what's going on with you, but reach out to her sister because I really feel like she needs some help. Right. You understand? Parents died, everything. I read a story.
That's why someone.
So this is the type of research I'm doing on this show.
I want to get into that. I want to go into that. Mark. What do you mean when you say it's grooming?
See, when little boys, like from a boy's aspect, when they got no role models, they got similar sad kind of story. I didn't even know that, so I'm sorry to hear that. But when you look at people that are lost like that, and then they end up in a position where they shouldn't even be nowhere near, right? We all got traumas, but hers sound like quite a lot. You know what I'm saying? If that was flipped on the boys' side, we go cunt, we go shop from pop, we go on groom. So someone comes in, looks at us and says, "That's
money,
right, that's great TV."
Yes, but somebody.
So you think you got groomed?
I think, but I have, to a degree. No, not my case, because I knew what I was going into that sector for.
No, but
you have to.
No,
she didn't. Your
wife. She does.
Okay. That's questionable.
I think you're in denial. I'm not gonna lie.
No, your why?
You're not in control of being groomed. The groomer is in control. Okay, so they came and said, "I want you because you got trauma."
No, but hold on. That. No one's. I'm accepting it. But what I'm trying to say is, I hold some form of responsibility to know that I put myself forward. No one put a gun to my head.
And I'm sure these ladies do as well.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, the reason I call it groomed is because if someone really cared about your welfare, even these producers, they could say, you know what? I don't think this is right for you. Thank you for the application. We do think you've got some great talent, but we don't think that this can help you.
That's not how business
works. So some businesses are like that, because I've been to castings. I've been to some castings where they're not really necessarily.
They'll take you off the show.
They will take you off the show.
Even if you've been casted on a show,
they'll take you off.
If there is something happening with you, they will pull you off the show.
Because they don't want to be held responsible for the damage.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Sorry. No, go on, darling.
No. I said what I said. You were saying.
Go on, you were saying?
I was just saying it's not because of the best interest of the person. It's because they don't want to have a news article when something happens to that 100%. Person. So once again, they're not doing it because they're doing it because we're thinking about us again.
Look what happened to that. Is it from Love Island?
Yeah, there was that too.
Dirty.
I was just
my mic. Muggy Mike.
There was something I was just about to say Love Island, but that's so sensitive because he's not the only one that has passed since that show. And all these people's lives all came from that show. We generally do not know what's going on behind closed doors. We're just seeing them. And this Muggy Mike person, they called him, rest in peace, they used to get onto him. Oh, he's stealing girls. He was, he just come here to cause trouble. He's not really. You understand? But we had no idea what he was going through in his real life. He went on this show hoping to make money, hoping to make a name for himself, to sort out whatever problems he had in his real life.
Yeah, now that I've got a question
to ask you, now that we've had a little bit more in depth of this clip that you've said, how do you feel now? Do you still feel that strongly opinionated? And like I said, I don't care about the show. I think the show is trash. Right. But I had to look into it first before I made my final decision and opinion on the show. Do you still have the same opinion? Are you still calling these young girls
fat black women?
Michelin men?
Yeah, because that's what they are. Because the bottom line is that, look, I'm not about to go back on things that I actually seriously believe, right? I'm just not that person.
But babe, I'm gonna keep 100 of you. Like you're not 10-10 though.
Oh, and I agree.
So what? How can you sit there and talk about anybody?
Listen, if anyone, listen, like I said, they were in the comment section saying I'm bored, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, listen, I know who I am.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call myself a baddie.
Of course you would.
I wouldn't call myself a
Why would you
baddie
call yourself? Can I get a drink,
because I know my
please?
limits, right? But what I'm trying to say is that you will go on a show, call yourself a baddie or blah blah blah, and look like that. You got no bra on.
I don't think it's that.
Right? They're big. They got no bra on. They're walking around
We're
fighting.
just getting back to this image. This. Thing
All I'm
again.
saying is,
Yeah.
the image, that a lot of black women have out there, the image is being portrayed. A certain image of black women is being portrayed in social media, right? The sensationalist, the attitude, all of this kind of stuff. And I'm just saying, at some point in time, those things for me, they have to be taken off. We have the power now.
We don't profit from it either.
Right. We have the power to change our own narrative. We have that power. This whole studio right here is us having the power to change our own narrative. If we are using the power to give ourselves a negative narrative, then for me, you're fair game, because the bottom line is you don't have an excuse now. I don't have an excuse to portray a negative narrative. I've got a platform where I can portray something. Everyone has. They got their phones. They can just post something on their phone, something positive. But what they choose to do is portray something negative.
But I just feel like social media has a huge part to play in this. Let's take away the show Baddies and how the black women in the UK are right now.
It's in the West in general, I would say.
There you go. It's everywhere.
Right.
It's everywhere. I mean, we had girls like City Girls, Meg Thee Stallion,
right?
Beyonce was doing it, but these girls followed straight after.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you.
You understand? And
you're saying something. Sorry to interrupt.
No, carry on, please.
I think because we're talking about the black women, right? I think black women have been easily impressionable. And the reason I say that is because you have to think about who profits from this.
Yes,
because it's not a black person. It's not a black person, and I don't really care. This is your life, but I think there is a demographic of people who profit from this. There is no money in peace. Do you understand? How do you wipe out the next few generations of black family homes?
Yes.
Black independent women. Black strong women. You give them a stupid cause to believe in. Not a stupid cause. You give them a misguided, misinterpreted, and the meaning.
You distract them.
How do you distract them? You pump money into music. You pump money into things that will, materialistic objects. You demise and you put down the black man by things like, showing. There's a lot of films coming out, which I think is fair, with superheroes. But if you look at a lot of the films now, the black men play a lot of the gay husband or the stay-at-home
gangsters, gays.
There's no good role models, and what they're doing with the black women is they're pumping so much money into uplifting them, which is fine, but they're doing it at the expense of the black man.
Yes, of course.
So therefore, when these women are looking around and say, hey, I don't need a man, what they're really saying is the white man or the certain demographic of people that powers that be have given us a voice, a misguided gun, and we're just shooting. We don't know why we're shooting. We've just been given.
We're allowed.
We're allowed to shoot.
Yeah, we're allowed to shoot
because we're important. We
don't know who we're shooting at. But
so,
the thing is, sorry, go on.
No. So that's what I really wanted to say. And I think what's sad about it is we can go back and forth. Let's really tackle the real issues at hand, which is social construct, farming, grooming. They are not just ground level. We're talking ego level now. You got to think bigger than that. So that makes me, sorry to cut back on what you're saying, old school. Motherfucker, I'm old school. Because
I know. When
I see shit and I see shit ain't right, when I see sweet and sweet ain't right, then I understand that it comes from, because there's a problem. There's a big problem. Do you understand? That's the way I see it.
I'm actually going to also add on to that. When you say it's a bigger problem and it's higher up, I actually don't think feminism was created by women. I think it was created by men.
Obviously, because they profit from it.
Hang on, let me hear this. Go on. Let me hear this.
Yeah, because what you said just now was they distracted black women from what their focus should really have been on, which is empowering themselves, right? And I believe men did that. They gave them feminism, but they didn't just give us feminism, did they? They gave us liberal, they gave us Marxism, they gave us so many different types. They confused us and put us against each other. And then on top of that, they segregated us. And I don't believe women could have done that because we weren't in a position to do that.
Right.
So men said,
and neither were
let's
black
give them
men.
freedom, but it ain't real freedom.
Right.
So we're still slaves. I definitely think we're still slaves.
Do you think that black women in these days and times are happier now than they were 50
No, I
years
think
ago?
they're miserable because they all talk
No.
about cats.
Do you think they're happier?
I'm
I don't
so
think I'm
offended.
Yeah, they all talk about
I'm
cats.
so
They all
offended.
talk about cats.
So what?
Wait, what's wrong
I know
with
you got
that?
cats.
I'm a cat mom.
Yeah, I got a cat.
Apart from you, because obviously your situation is different.
Okay,
but-
because
What, because you're in my
because her
face?
man is
No,
present.
the situation is very
Because her
obviously
man is
different.
present.
Yeah, because
Thank
your
you,
man
babe.
is
So
there.
do I need
Otherwise,
to
I
talk
wouldn't
about
Thank
believe
you,
my
baby.
No, I wouldn't believe you because the facts is a
Wow.
lot of black women now are regret because what's even crazy now.
Yeah,
Let's talk
crazy.
about ground level. Yeah, the TikToks and so on and so forth. You got there's one girl that we particularly know who's always promoting, don't talk to that guy. That guy is trash. Be this, be that. And when a guy wants to come to you, make sure he comes with money. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, I'm not gonna mention names. I don't want to name drop because you can't win. You can't win with girls. So I don't argue with girls.
But
Women.
Yeah, girls argue,
women.
women don't. Correct, women don't.
Women.
So even what she does is misleading because she promotes this promiscuous, elaborate, I don't need a man, but then she's always talking about collecting from a man because she doesn't need to work. So she's confused within her own message. And then what you end up seeing is within her messages are so many girls who, this is why I call it grooming, so many girls being misguided because what they're doing is absorbing this message because normally they're the ones that are insecure. They probably haven't hit puberty yet. They probably haven't hit their badders stage yet.
Baddies.
Yeah, baddie stage yet.
Granddad.
They've not hit no form of their self-confidence is completely shattered to pieces. And they're looking at this girl who's, in my opinion, she's a 10 out of 10. You understand? But what she's actually promoting is her own trauma. But she's trying to shell it and or blanket it.
So do you think this is most girls? So we can
100%, 90%
So
of girls.
I'm not going to say any
90%.
other names
90% of girls.
that are as big as
90%.
she is and do all of these.
90%
let us finish.
Sorry.
Go on, Yasmin.
So you believe that all these girls?
Yeah, a high percentage of them.
Okay. Do you think I'm one of them? And be very honest with me.
What's
Like-
the question in regards to because if you want to personalize it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So not necessarily on a personal level, just going by my social media. Would you categorize me as the same as these women, where I say one message online and I have these young girls in my DMs and
Yeah.
Did you say yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the reason I tell you that, not because you're my friend, whatever, but I'll keep it 100 with you. You have to be very careful of the image that you portray because at the end of
So
the day,
I say I don't need a man. I put that.
Oh
out
no,
there.
no. I'm talking about what are you talking about, so I know exactly how to answer.
I'm
your
just.
question.
I don't feel like she says specifically.
Who?
You don't need
This
a
person
man.
that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
the specific girl.
100% she does.
Listen, she's had a you. Like we know she's got a man. You
Listen,
understand?
I'm in the dark over here. Who are we talking about?
I'll enlighten you later. But what I will say is that you didn't have to bring the fact that she's had a you. Okay, the fact that she's had a you.
And she's a content creator. When will you guys just let women be?
No, because I don't think what she does.
That's
is
the problem.
positive.
Women have been
Exactly.
and they're losing.
Okay,
No.
if I was online
Yeah.
promoting, I had a you, and I was promoting trapping, forget girls, they're all hoes, they're all this and that. You would have something to say, right?
Okay, I might have something to say, but if it's
You'd have something to
okay,
say.
I might have something to say.
Okay.
I might have something to say, but if you're telling me it's making you, if you're getting views on that,
I couldn't consciously do that.
you've got people like, what's that light skinned guy's name? Is it
Who?
HS?
I don't know who you're
Tiki
talking
Toki.
Tiki Toki.
Tiki Toki.
Thank you.
Who's Tiki
I just like the name Tiki Toki.
That's so funny.
I'm
Yeah.
lost. Who the hell is that?
HS Tiki Toki. Yo, he is on there saying a whole bunch of garbage.
Yeah, because he's got mental health issues.
No,
That's the
he's
guy I'm
got
thinking
money
about.
and he's getting engagement.
Oh, that
He's
guy.
getting views.
No,
Yes.
he's got that
I
issues.
know in his real life he lives a different life, which
he
is most of these
because
women.
he wears fakes.
Have you got personal?
No, I
beef?
don't.
Anyway, as I was saying,
No,
right?
no. If you're talking about the same guy, sorry, I just want to address this.
Is it
quickly.
Tiki Toki we're talking about?
I don't know. I
Are you
don't
talking
know.
about the guy
I
that
just
had
like
a
the name
fight the
Tiki
other day
Toki.
in Dubai?
Yeah, and
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Because what he promotes is not what he's living.
okay, but this is what I'm saying is you're getting onto women doing it. I was just highlighting that
Yeah,
your
but then
gender
we're
does
talking
it
about
too.
women being
But
accountable.
I'm talking about men.
Okay.
I'm talking
Why is
about
HS
men.
Tiki Toki an idiot?
I think he's an idiot for the simple fact that what he promotes out there is just as bad as what some of these women promote out there. I think he promotes a fake lifestyle. I think he misguides a lot of the young youth.
Yes.
I think a lot of people look up to him and pretend that they hate on him, but they're really interested in the
Yep,
bullshit
they're
he's
giving
doing.
him
So
the
therefore,
views.
what is he promoting?
Okay, but is this not back to what I was saying again? We are the consumers. When will we
I ain't a
stop?
consumer.
You're not a consumer of him, you're right. But a lot of people see his stuff. I'm not one of his audiences, but I know what's going on with him.
You're not understanding.
You're not his main.
I think
You're not his main
I'm not his
video,
main
but
audience.
you were able to identify who he was talking about.
I
Yeah.
still, I
We
think-
are the consumers. So as much as what he's doing is wrong, we are giving into it. Just like this show Baddies, just like the woman in question, which he will reveal to
I
you
didn't bring
later.
that. So I think you're still looking at it at small level. If you want to talk about it, let's go up.
I'm not going any higher than my pay grade. This is what I'm going beyond and talking about certain parts of the industry that I'm not directly
I
involved
think-
in.
Hang on. Let's just get back to the happiness because I wanted to see black women's happiness. You said that black women were less happy now. Why did you say that?
You said that?
Yeah, that's than 50 years ago. I said, yeah.
I did
You're
not.
probably over talking me.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, she's
No, go
talking
on.
me.
Yeah, go on. Why?
I believe that women are less happy now because you need some sort of order. Otherwise, there's just anarchy. And right now, it's almost like a kid. Kids need discipline. Kids need some sort of grounding. I'm not saying women need to be grounded and da, but it's all good saying I'm free. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna fall off the edge of a cliff, kind of thing. And I just think because of all of this freedom and social media pressure and like I can do this or I can move like a man or I can get money now, it's almost like it's like a dragon. It's just moving too quickly for even us to reflect on that and process like how far we've come and actually what we want to do. And then in a sense, you're shaming us. You know, you're saying, you know, women, love your body. You're independent. You can be independent, but you're fat. You know, or you're on a show. Well done for getting.
You saying that?
You. So well done for getting on the show. Well done for getting casted. Well done for putting yourself, but you're still fat. You know.
Do you know what's interesting to me when you say that? Women tell other women things and then say men said it.
Facts.
Women say other things to women. When you look at the comment sections of these things, when women are doing stuff, there's not men in there saying, "Oh yeah, great." It's women gassing them up, slay girls, and then you say, "Oh, but you said that." No, we never said. You lot told each other the lie. Women have lied to each other for a very long time.
I just learned to keep my thoughts in my head now.
All right, hang on a minute. As a matter of fact, that's going to segue me onto my second video. All right. I'll give you 1 minute. Yeah, that's going to segue me onto my second video. But yeah, sorry. Go on, continue.
Yeah, but then even if I was to continue off your point about women lying to women, we don't even know who to trust anymore. Who's on our side?
True.
And being a black person, no one's really ever on our side.
As in,
and then a black woman
everywhere, not just social media. Like
for us.
It's crazy. Even in the work field, like
1 second, one at a time.
It's
Go
not
on.
about accountability. That's called
Accountability as well.
waking up being a victim in the world. That's not
being accountability.
So we have to be accountable. You're victim blaming now.
No, I'm not victim blaming. What I'm trying to say is that the reason I say take accountability is in order for a madman to be cured, you have to realize you're mad first. Yeah. So that's the South African proverb. So what I'm trying to say is that you can't say there's a problem and say we don't know who to trust. But first of all, the first step is accepting that a lot of the construct that you have in your mind is wrong.
No.
Hold on.
Black
I'm
women.
answering what she's saying.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
So I get what you're saying, that you don't know who to trust, but that's stage one. So what you have to do now is unlearn what you think doesn't resonate with you properly. And if you do that, you now go and find out what it is to be in the position that you need to be in. And you don't take that from lost souls or people of similar minds of your past. You have to take it way back, or I don't know, look for positive role models in that sector in your life.
So let me just do you agree that we live in a capitalistic society?
100%.
So if people are coming from poverty, where they got the resources to do that?
Girl, I was about to go deep. Thank you. I was about to go deep.
They got to work full time, maybe even support this. They haven't had someone to teach them about sexual education properly because we all know school doing it.
And then they get themselves into predicaments that have nothing.
And then by the time they reach an age of, do you know what? Damn, if I could go back, I would do that different. Too much has happened.
But I agree with you. But then also we look at these things, simple things. Sometimes the most simple things are the hardest things, but discipline. You said, oh, why are you having kids? Why are you even thinking about marriage? Just goes both ways, right? Why are you thinking about even buying a Chanel bag? Why are you thinking about all these things? Because these are not your faults. all your thoughts have been crafted, manufactured, programmed. Your feelings are not really your feelings. I love you. It's not even I love you, because you've been taught to love the wrong things, because that's what you think is what you're meant to do. So even being a black woman, because that's what we're talking about, you need to really understand what it is. And I'm not talking about just, what Black History Month says or whatever. You have to take it up, which is BS anyway. You got to take it upon yourself to go, conscious searching. I don't know.
Right.
Go deep. I'm very patriotic, and that's why you keep calling me old school, because I don't get it right. And there are certain things that clash with my moral ground, which I accept. But I've taken the time. Do you understand? I've taken the time to go, and I'm still doing it, finding out who I am, because in order to go somewhere, you need to know where you come from. And I think a lot of black women, like you said, rightly so said, have a certain mindset, and there's something I'm going to say that might trigger a lot of people.
Listen, let them come and get this smoke.
Okay, cool. Let me give you an example. Is it fair to say that a lot of black girls or women
he just said yes.
come from the background of the first thing that the mother says when they meet a guy? What's the first thing you think the mother says or asks them when they meet a guy?
What's his job? What does he do?
Does he have money?
Does he have money? That's basically what it means.
Okay, that's fair enough to say. That's cool. Yeah. There's like, don't marry a guy that doesn't have money. Forget potential, right?
It's very old school. But
I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not old school.
No, it is. It really
but their
is.
girlfriends ask them that now. What does he do?
Yeah, the girlfriends. We're
Okay,
in a
cool.
different generation now.
Now the girlfriends say, what does he do?
Jasmine, is it fair to say? Can I ask you? So if you meet a guy tomorrow, yeah, what's your mom gonna ask you? What's the first three things she's gonna ask you?
She's gonna ask me, how old is he? Where's he from? And what does he do?
Exactly. But that's another way of like asking about
his financial status.
Yes.
But that
you know why
question.
people ask that.
That wouldn't have even been the first question.
Go for it. What is it?
The same question I asked her. What was the first when you met your
I
partner?
bet you any money, it would have been the same question in that
No.
order.
But when you met your partner, no disrespect, when you met your partner, what was the first couple of questions your parents asked you, or your mum in particular?
Name, age, how'd you meet?
How do you mean? Okay, she changed out. If that's what you're saying,
listen. Let's get to the second video. I'm gonna continue this. Can we play that second video? So I want everyone to see this as well.
Okay, fair enough.
We're gonna play the second video.
I'm glad she asked that.
Thank you, Jesse. Let's get that second video played, and
I'ma get my coochie scratched.
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie scratched and eat in London. Period, baby. I'm trying to get this coochie scratched.
I'ma get my coochie scratched in England, and I'ma eat in London. What the Oh, Sukihana. If this is what you want black women to aspire to in the West, then I have absolutely no idea what your agenda is. Because if you can be like this, if you can set this kind of example to black women, why would black men in the West want to be with you?
But that's not all black women.
Sir,
go on.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. Look, I think. Listen, I've seen your page, and I see you doing little reviews, little interviews.
Do you know what we do? We do for women like that.
Red flags.
Red flags. All over the place. Red flags.
That is, you are saucy tonight.
Listen, cool. I've checked your page. I see what you're doing it, but I also feel like, there's a type of journalism that we have right now. Like, you seem to be like a live journalist, a little broadcast journalist, and you see.
Yeah, I like to see things. Yeah,
and as soon as you see it. But I feel like you do not do your research. Now, I actually studied creative writing and journalism as a degree, actually.
Okay.
Thank you. My first degree. Just because I'm qualified.
No, go on.
But anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, I feel like you generally don't do your research. Now, I think Sukihana, if I saw that for the first time, or I'm walking past her, as much as I am, I swear to God, I would get my friend. I say, "Can you see this mad woman?" Yeah. I said, "Can you see this mad woman?" I agree with you, but the thing is, I've done my research on Sukihana.
And who is she? If I've not done it, who is Sukihana?
The last crazy video I saw of Sukihana was her leg up in the air her coochie out,
Getting square.
and she was squirting.
Wow.
So she was doing. So she's a porn star.
She's not a porn
What is she?
star. She's actually an artist. I believe this was
Sounds like a porn star to me. I don't know
okay. I'm just keeping it
so
true.
artists of the sex trade.
No.
There you go.
Sukihana's been around for a long time, so I think she started off doing stupid videos. Then finally, she got her body done. She went viral a couple of times. She went on Love and Hip Hop, yada.
Right.
You know what everyone does? They go on these reality programs. Now she started doing music. Cool. She's now come to the UK because she's done a collab with one of our UK artists.
Right.
Shout out Afrobeat. They did a song together. Good song. She come to the UK.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, no, it's a good song. It's a good song. She did a thing.
I'll take a listen.
But the thing is, I know you're like, oh yeah, get to your point. But basically, I've researched her. This is what she does.
Right, but but that image, like I said, that image.
But
yeah?
this is her.
That's her business.
Yeah, I don't think you understand.
No, but what I'm trying to say
This
is
her.
that image, right? So I'll look at it like this. My son's 11, right? And
It's impressionable.
right, he's 11, and the things that he's taken in on a daily basis have to be like controlled. He can't be taking everything into his psyche on a daily basis, right? However, people that are not of my son's age are taking in black male images. The black male image generally is seen as some kind of scary image. A lot of it is to do with drugs. A lot of it's to do with gangsterism, right? So when I step into a room full of non-black people, there is a subconscious conversation that goes on there with them. They see all of those images flash in their head for a split second, and they look at me and they're like, is he like that guy that I've seen?
Yep.
Right? Is he like that guy that I've seen? So I have to take my time to show them I'm not like that guy, right? The images of black women like that are going out. What do you think when you two step into a room, people are going to be thinking?
I ain't gonna lie, they better not think I'm like that.
To be
But they
fair,
probably will. Black women are sexualized.
my
sense.
social media is
That's how you
completely separate
sexualize
to
them.
my real life. You understand? I don't conduct myself
but
like
it's
that
cool.
in
It's
a
how
room
you
full of
sexualize
important
them.
people.
Hang on, wait one sec. I don't conduct myself like a criminal. Yeah, I don't. But I know I've been treated as such.
Just due to
Just being who I am. I'm
It's-
6'2" and I'm black.
Unfortunately,
right?
it's life.
But what I'm trying to say is we are now in the position to change our narratives.
What? How?
We are in a position
How?
to
Tell me
because
how.
we have
This
social
one-
medias.
No, I disagree because social media is controlled.
That's what I'm saying.
You've
You
got
think, what's
algorithms.
this gonna
Different
do?
countries get different types of. China
In
gets
another
educational stuff. We get.
So you're telling me Sukihana can't control her own image?
No, sorry, wait. You see?
Is that what you're
what-
telling me? She
wait,
can't
wait,
control her own
wait,
image?
She can, but
It's the algorithm that made me say I want to get my coochie scratched.
babe, listen to what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah,
Don't do that.
what we are.
It doesn't make sense.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. This is wild in the UK. This is
Absolutely.
outrageous.
Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second. I want to hear what you're saying. Go on.
This is outrageous in the UK. You're absolutely right. But let's flip it to where she's from. This is the standard. This is the norm. The norm. America is a big place. There is loads of states. Most of these girls got to where they are today for doing the dumb rubbish they're doing today.
Right.
I'm gonna bring up Cardi B. Now
Controlled.
before her, whatever.
Would you not call it controlled mutilation?
Let me have a drink.
Yeah.
Controlled what? Mutilation.
Mutilation.
What does that mean?
Like dunning someone out, basically.
Oh, neutralized it. Oh, okay. Neutralization.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said
How did he
mutilation.
start it
Yeah.
off,
My English.
You know what?
Sorry. Go on.
She's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. Because when she was on Love and Hip Hop, kicking out, back windows and all of that, everyone wanted to chat on her. Now she's got her family, got her money, she's got her.
But this is
maybe kicked back. Now it's like she's neutralized.
You know why?
You're like, well, she's not.
Because
She's got the
damaged.
money now to get her therapy that you've been saying they
No,
need
but
to
then
get.
at whose expense? She's damaged how many people's lives? There was a classic.
She didn't
scene-
damage
there was a-
control.
there
You're
was a
picking
classic-
them.
there was
She
a-
don't even let her own business.
Sorry to
hold
say,
on,
you
hold
said
on.
you've got a
hold on.
child, yeah?
Let me get to this. There was a classic video of her playing is it WAP?
Yeah.
And she was cleaning in the kitchen and
And her
daughter
kid
ran in.
came and she turned
What
it
did she
off.
do?
She turned it off.
Why should she do that if it's that's
Because but she openly said this is not appropriate
She
for young
even got-
ears.
So, but it's
I
not what it's
rate that
appropriate for other
so
young
It's
kids.
much.
not her job.
This is her business.
Yeah.
This is her money. Do you understand?
So would you call
And-
it controlled?
Neutralization.
No.
Why is it not?
She's a mother.
Do you not
Her
understand what
child
that means?
She's a mother.
No.
She's
You're
a mother.
You're not understanding what I mean.
She's a mother. So this would have been a natural reaction.
Controlled. Okay, do you understand what I mean by that?
But in all fairness,
When you say
That's
neutralization,
not
are you saying
natural for a
neutralization of what? The family
someone will
unit?
be playing that.
I work with kids in it. So for me, that's just outrageous.
What do you mean?
If I can't do anything inappropriate with children in my, that's me, but because I work with kids. So to me, this is I'm just seeing the mother in her. Do you understand? You guys might be saying it's something else, fine. But to me, I'm just seeing
what she shows and presents of herself.
Say that again.
Which she's in control of.
Yeah.
Just like we all are.
Yeah.
I think what
you came here dressed a certain way because you're in control of it.
Yeah.
You're not in control of the algorithm, but you're in control of what comes out of your mouth. You're in control of what comes out of your mouth. I'm in control of what comes out of my mouth.
They're also scared. It's also fear. I think the fear comes from like this girl. I can't remember her name. I don't want to remember her name. It's because she feels like if she acts appropriate, she will lose everything she's ever worked for because no one will them endorsement deals won't come her way because they're promoting the nonsense that she does.
But that's social media. That's us as the consumers.
But you also supported that because you said if they promoted successful black women, no one would watch. So she's
no. I don't think it's okay. No, I don't think it's okay. But okay, what's wrong? Okay, what's wrong with being successful? Yeah, without the clout that comes with it.
There's nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with it. Why don't we care? Why don't we give that more? Why don't we? Why don't you, me, all of us? Why don't we? Because
I can actually.
Why are we giving Baddies U.K attention? Why
giving
that? No, I'm just sorry. Not. This is not. I'm not being. You know what I'm trying to say. Sorry for what I'm saying. But we started this topic talking about Baddies. We could have still gone into a lot of the things that we spoke about just now without even mentioning that show, but that show had to be used
because
as
it's the only.
It had to be. It had to be used an example because my thing is that, in my personal opinion, feminism has a lot to answer for when it comes to the black female image, and the black female image, in my personal point of view, is loud, trashy,
thank you,
destructive,
okay,
unruly,
nice,
right? It's not nice.
Oh, but somebody's there for me. Somebody's happy with that. And there are some black men. There are some black men that love that.
Them men are toxic.
They are. They're simps. They are the enablers.
I know this sounds crazy.
They're enablers.
Yes, they are. They absolutely are. One guy posted something on his Snap, right? And it was a list of all the things he probably just said about women. Got 10K followers on Instagram, has this, has that, takes side photos. Oh, this is it was a very toxic list, but the guy said, please, if you know her, I want her. This is what the guy put out there. The guy is in his 30s. This is my boy. Like probably pushing 40.
Why does he want her? Why does he want her?
He wants to fuck her. Oops.
Yeah,
everybody,
because he wants to smash, innit?
He wants to,
and so this is when you talk about, you spoke about neutralization before.
So you don't think that's crazy?
No, but listen,
it's purposeful.
No, let me finish. When you talk about neutralization, feminism, in my personal point of view, has been anti-family.
For a long time.
It's been anti-children, and it's been anti-life in general. And so what it does, it pushes women to be independent. Right?
Anti-family.
It is anti-family.
It's not.
It is anti-family. It is because it tells women that you can be the quote unquote head. You don't need a man, right? When you hang on, cool. When you don't need a man, right? When you don't need a man, that means you're anti-family. That means you want to be by yourself. But we can see now within the past 10 years, vibratory devices have risen by the consumption of them risen by like 15%.
What's that?
Vibratory devices, women's vibratory devices, right, have risen by like 15%.
No, they profit out.
So it's anti-family. It's saying to you, oh, you take this. You can actually have whole women having whole videos talking about, oh, I've got this rose, and it's amazing. It gives me the best orgasms, and
more than a man can do.
More than a man can do.
Is she telling the truth?
I can't lie.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. It's anti-family.
There is a terminology for it. There is a terminology for it, but I can't remember it at this moment. I don't know if you remember when the Facebook took. I think someone took Facebook to court. No, it was Addison Lee took. What's that other cab service?
Uber.
They took them to court because they were.
Well, we know you don't use them. Go on.
Trust me.
Basically, that's the only example I can give. But they took them to court because it was unfair businessship or something like that. Because Uber was literally blowing them out of the water.
Right.
So what you have to understand is like, even down to the vibration tools and all these, therapy classes that are sold to women and all these things. Mm-hmm. There is a greater business party that is in control of that. Yes. That basically takes the chunk and says, look, in order for these businesses to profit from, and they pay us tax. We have to create that. Do you understand? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these things that they're going through, they're not even in. You're in denial because you don't even know what you're even believing in. So you buying that tool, is you basically saying you're saying a guy can never give me that because you can't. Remember, we teach each other.
There's only so much lessons though.
No, you can teach a man. You got to have patience. See, that's the thing.
Listen,
You got to have patience.
guys, we're gonna get back to this. Yeah, hang on. One second. Guys. We got a super chat from Gallon Prime 2. He said, if you wouldn't want your son to marry a woman exhibiting that behavior, i.e. the Sukihana behavior, why potentially invalidate your image as a sensible woman by defending or legitimizing their actions?
Gunshots.
Why?
Smoke.
You wouldn't want your sons marrying a Sukihana. Why are you defending her?
Yeah, but I'm not like that.
I never defended her. I said that it's her behavior.
You're being affiliated with it because you're associating yourself with it.
No. What I said was that her, babe, you keep doing this red flag.
Do you know what you guys are doing, which is so typical? You're picking and choosing the parts of feminism and the part of black community that
you're clocking onto some of the things I'm saying, and I know you are.
What are you saying?
You know what I'm trying to say.
Why would you defend something? You see,
okay, back to this question. Fine.
Go on. Yeah. Why?
I would not promote my son to marry this woman because it's too much. It's crazy.
Right.
I agree. It's too.
Right.
I can't have this woman singing to my man. I eat. I can't have that. You understand?
Yep. She's not cute. She's not cute.
She's a pretty
No,
baby.
she ain't cute.
She's but listen, moving on. What I'm trying to say though, this is the norm somewhere else. The reason why I probably wouldn't allow it for my son, because here, this is not a normal behavior for us. It's not. But in America,
so you're saying in America that's normal?
Unfortunately, yes.
I think it's
and that's why a show like Baddies,
women in the West.
Sorry that I keep bringing up the show,
parts of the world,
but I want to use it as an example.
Right.
A show like Baddies would have worked perfectly in America. Exactly.
But that's why I asked if we are taking the US model.
Yeah.
Are we taking the US model and trying to impose it on the British model?
Are trying to, but it's not successful.
It's not going to work over here. I don't think
it's not. I know. I agree.
Because we're not as crazy as they are.
There's a
I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be real. We're not as crazy as they are.
It's not even about crazy. I just think
Americans is just like
how many American we can go into music about this and see where our music is with these Americans. Yeah, they come over, they do 1-2 songs with us for a little bit, then that's it. They go about their business. You understand? And I don't want to say a certain name, but there was a UK female rapper. All right, she was doing her thing, doing numbers.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, during COVID as well. Yeah, she started off as a YouTuber. Yeah.
Ivorian Doll.
Ivorian Doll. She tapped into the American thing, didn't she?
No. Yeah, I believe so.
She had I don't remember the song, but I know she did like a little cipher with a couple of these girls that have dolls in their name.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like
she
Asian doll. She was proper tapping into. Oh, they done kicked her ass back to the UK.
You know what it is though? I don't think that's down to that. I think it's just down to the fact that there's no money for her to make.
That could be one of it. I don't want to get into that side of things because we're not
digressing
our topic.
Though. Why are we defending that? Why are we defending that type of woman? The Sukihanas of the world. Why is it that when it comes to the defense of it,
there, hon? If we cannot speak on someone else's culture. Is their culture okay in this country? No.
To all my Americans out there, is that American culture? Just let me understand.
It's definitely American culture because these girls have gotten famous of this stuff. These girls are making it. These are girls with kids. All their kids are pattern. All of them are pattern. Everyone's cussing Sexy Red. Yeah, she's talking about my coochie this, my brand. This girl's already collected a second child. And that child is going to eat good. Sexy Red is a young girl, just came up with one ratchet song and she's performing with everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm not saying for her. It's a good thing.
No, for you, when you look at it, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Why is it a good thing for me or a bad thing?
Like when you look at it,
how does this affect?
Because everyone has a judgment on something.
It's quite sad. It's almost like.
Do you think that what Sexy Red is doing is good?
I am happy for her success.
Nonsense.
That's fine. You can call it nonsense.
I get what you're saying.
It's hard. I'm happy for her success. If she brought that stuff here, I might have a different opinion.
Okay, Yasmin.
But where she's doing it, it makes sense.
You can't.
Can I rephrase it? Yeah? Or not rephrase it? Okay. I get you're trying to be positive. It's not a good representation of you.
Yes, it's not a good
It's a
representation.
different representation.
Okay,
of
cool.
her.
Okay, as a black man, yeah, that's like when Top Boy came out, yeah. Although it was
Which
mostly
season? Because the last
all of
one-
them.
Okay.
Although they were like, it was well watched. Is it a good representation? When a white person comes up and goes, "Oh yeah, mate, yeah, Duchesne," do you think I find it funny?
Is that what they said to you?
Yeah. Someone called me Duchesne, and I was like,
Top Boy.
yeah, like, oh, you watch Top Boy, or that's their leveling ground in terms of how they communicate with me.
Right.
Before they see me as a person, they're referring to me as a drug dealer who gets killed in the most worst way possible.
Right.
Or, how's that something to be proud of? I could easily say, yeah, I'm happy for Asha D's success.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact is, I am not happy that the powers that be are funding, a program that represents black people in the black men, especially in the worst way possible.
Well, I did say back to the Sukihana thing. You know, she doesn't represent all black women of today.
It's not that. It's a perspective. It's what's being
But
visualized
why
by
are we
millions.
not talking about? They were not.
Okay,
Listen, why are we not talking about the other side of the black women? Though we're talking about the ratchet stuff, the black
Because
women
we
that
don't
do this
see that.
feminism.
We
We
don't
do
see
see that you guys are consumers of the ratchet stuff. That's why he done a
I'm
whole
not a
video
consumer of
about
any ratchet
badders
stuff.
that have young girls on there as young as 19, calling them Michelin men. But there are women. There
That
are
one, that
there
one
was-
hurt you though for some reason. It's true. That one hurt you because you keep going over it. Why did it hurt you? Why did that
I
one
just
hurt
don't
you?
understand. I just felt like you being rude. I commented. I was one of the people. That
You're not a
commented.
Michelin man.
I appreciate that. I didn't need your approval.
No,
of
I'm just
what I
saying,
am.
like, why is it because you know them? Is it?
Of course I know them. Of course I know them.
Oh, you know them personally. Oh, so you're
couple of
defending your
them.
friends. Okay, no, I
I
get it.
I
No,
didn't say
understand.
anyone was my friend. I didn't say anyone was my friend. I know of
So
them.
you know them. Oh, you know of them.
I know a couple, yeah.
Okay. Because I was just trying to understand, like, why that really like got to you. I was trying to understand. So
I just thought
okay, you know them.
I just thought you just being rude.
I mean, it probably is rude, but sometimes people need to be shamed into doing something about themselves.
But what did Miss Arfab say the other day? You can't shame the shameless. These
So,
girls.
so now you're telling me that they ain't got no shame.
What I'm saying is he's saying something else.
You're saying they ain't got no shame now.
What I'm saying is that these girls knew what
They're
they
shameless.
signed up for
So are they shameless?
to be on the show.
Yeah.
They have to have a little bit of to no shame. I mean,
Right, okay.
I've got to keep it short. Like,
heard it.
I'm not even.
I didn't say it.
I'm not even innocent, but the show's crazy. The show's crazy.
Right.
I just remember seeing a frying pan, and the frying pan.
She's retreating. You're retreating. You're retreating. Because he got you and he just gave you a nice haymaker. You just went bam.
No, but I said
Now you're going,
no, but
"Oh,
I keep it
yeah."
100. I'm going to speak on the show. I wanted to address the whole how we were speaking about the women.
Mhm.
But if we're going to talk about the show's trash. I don't understand the concept of the show, the purpose of the show. What did the girls get from the show? What did the girls
I
get
understand
from
the
the show?
concept, but I do not
As
agree with the
entertainment.
message.
But I think
Yeah.
in terms of the producer's goal,
Mhm.
she got what
Would
she
you,
wanted.
would you call her
Who's
successful?
the producer?
Would you call her
Lani.
successful to do? I'm not going to mention it. Would you call it successful for doing that?
Do you guys have a problem with Lani or something?
I don't have a problem with nobody.
I don't have a problem with anybody.
I don't believe a word that just came out of any of your mouths.
I'm platonic. You can't. I don't. Having a problem means I care.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It means like you're my op kind of thing.
So she's your op.
No, she's not my op. You have to be my op.
You're doing diplomatic. You're doing diplomatic like immunity or something. What's going on? You're doing like politically correctness. You don't like her. She doesn't like you. Is that what it is?
I didn't say anything, babe. You said it.
That's
show.
what it's true.
No,
Okay.
I say, would you classify this as that?
I think knowing her on a
success?
personal level
Mm,
and what is successful to her,
mm.
this is a big deal for her. I cannot say it's a success just yet because the show's not come out. Yeah, we can say what we want about
I
whatever
think you'll be
we've seen.
successful.
But nevertheless, look at the marketing that she's doing, and the show ain't even come out
I
yet.
know.
Right,
I
right.
think
But
you'll
you're
be
people are
successful.
speaking about
You
it.
know, you understand. You
You'll
know,
be successful because it's designed to. It's been made to do.
she's
what it
got
needs
the
to do.
right type of audience. It might not be for us,
Mm.
but there is a younger audience, the
Mm.
ones that watch the back chats, the ones that are on TikTok, the ones that do the dances and all this, is it sturdy and whatnot. These are the audience, they will watch it. You
Mm.
understand? She's got a huge fan base. She got that from back chat, she got that from Tion Wayne. She went on a show herself. So I think in her eyes, this is a big deal for her, and I think she truly believes that this is a success. So as much as we're cussing the show, like I think it's got potential in it. Is there longevity though?
That's a question.
That's another.
That's a question.
That's another topic. That's another. I can't answer that. Like I said, I got to see to really make an opinion.
Okay, hang on. We got another super chat from Gallon Prime 2 again. Thank you very much. It says shamelessness is not a desired trait for any spouse.
Look, see me. I'm a real.
And then we got Devon J who says,
sorry.
"Hell no, that isn't a Black American culture." Because remember people were saying that that was Black American culture.
Look. Again, we are just consumers, so I'm gonna speak as a consumer. It's what some of the things I see from American TV, I've stopped tapping into a lot of American TV because it's very ratchet. Do you understand?
So the thing is, you say American. Jesse, can we get the video free quickly?
God.
Because you're saying American, yeah?
What are you gonna play now?
You're saying American. So what I'm gonna play something British. I'm gonna play something British and see.
As long as it's not.
What is it? Backchat.
No, I'm gonna say play something British and see if this is the way, yeah, that Black women want to be represented. I want you to listen to these women, you know.
He got caught slipping on here.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it, Jesse.
Lonnie, I am sick with guilt. My girls and I, all in relationships, engaged, recently went on a girls' trip to Danky Sound, Ibiza. And all three of us cheated on our men. Personally, I enjoyed every minute of it. My man doesn't really pleasure me sexually, but we are so compatible in every other way. Sex is decent enough, but he's not as adventurous or attentive as I truly desire. This guy I met in Ibiza rocked my world, and I was shivering in an orgasm. Like, I totally forgot sex could feel that good. We've all sworn secrecy with one another. What happens in Ibiza stays in Ibiza, but I'm still texting this guy under a fake name in my phone and I can't help myself. What does this mean for my long-term relationship? I feel so guilty with my man and now he probably noticing that I've been physically distant. Please help me.
I would have taken it to the grave if you didn't message the man under a fake name. Now you're doing super sleuthing.
Because there has to be time.
Yeah.
Sex is not the end all or be all in a relationship.
If we're together forever, it is.
It is.
Are we telling her to tell on herself or
No.
Delete the other guy's number.
Yes,
delete it.
yeah.
I don't think she hasn't experienced anything that wild. She's just had sex with a different person.
Don't destroy your relationship if you are going to be the love of your life or the love of your vagina.
Yeah.
But this is some random nigga on holiday.
Yeah.
Let him go, block him, delete it.
Yeah.
Then try to recover your sex
But
life.
when the guilt be beating you lot's asses?
Relax.
I like that one. The one
Guys.
that said guilt beating your ass is facts.
Guys, seriously, like, let's be real. Yeah?
Bro, you don't even need the red flag.
Let's be real.
I think we can all agree on here.
That is wild.
No, I think we can.
No,
all
remember,
agree.
you were saying American.
No. This has
Right.
nothing to do with reality TV, babe. This is a women in relationships.
Babe, but
being
that's
cheaters.
reality.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's
She's like, it's not reality.
No, it's not
TV,
reality. It's not reality TV. This is real life.
I can't even. I think.
But I just don't understand why a girl would go to that length of actually outing herself and getting advice about it.
I think that's the worst part.
That's why.
Because feminism made women
No,
shameless.
no. When I said women have clocked the game, I don't know what this is.
One sec, guys. Go on.
When I said women have clocked the game, I generally don't know what this is. Either that was a made-up story, or this girl was tapped, because that's not an ordinary story. Even men that have stepped out of their relationship. Will you go on a public platform to not only open your own nyash, but everybody else that was with you? You said you all went to go and have.
They all cheated on their boyfriends.
You understand? So I'm struggling to buy.
No, I think it's true.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not innocent. You understand? But I think that is a wild story. That's a very wild story. I think for me, the minute you cheat, this is just a cheating scenario. Let's be honest. It's not like they had an orgy or swingers party that the girl cheated.
That's worse.
Exactly, that is worse.
This is worse.
No, what makes it worse?
Do you see how
women secrecy?
What? Yes, that's
Avengers.
what makes. That's what I'm saying.
they're doing. Avengers.
That's what makes it worse. It's not even the act; it's how they're behaving, how she's behaving.
But remember,
after.
prior to that, right? Someone was saying, "Why would you defend behavior with Sukihana?" You see that? It's as if you're defending it. So if you're defending that,
I can't say.
So I'm gonna come with some diplomacy.
Thank you.
You have the free right to do what you want,
Mhm.
right? Who are we to say that's where it starts, like where it ends? If you want to say them things and you want to do them things, that's perfectly fine. I don't. And I think again, we're generalizing, and you two are generalizing a lot with
I
women.
didn't say shit.
There are different
Sweet,
levels to this. Okay, you know this. There are different levels. Stop putting us all on the same
Because
level.
we can all agree.
I'm not saying you're all in the same bracket. I'm saying that when it comes to
you're
feminism,
trying to say this is British black women. This is what you're trying to say. That's what
I'm saying that this is your image.
So
this
that's
is
one
this-
of the
this is-
images.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say
This
is
is far from
this
our
is your.
image.
Do you know how podcasts like this are consumed by black women? They're consumed larger than most podcasts would be.
The receipts is
To laugh at cheating. All three of them cheating on their boyfriend.
Okay, but
and laugh and
men
they.
have
but
been
we all laugh.
cheating
We all
for
laugh.
years. Why is it when women just talk about it, it's like you're a hoe? Why are you doing this? Why are you talking about it?
Women and men are not the same. Women are not the same as
I'm
men.
not saying
So they've
women.
got to carry
I've
themselves
never said
different.
that
I'm gonna be
women are
honest,
the
you have to
same
carry
as men.
yourself with
Just get
certain
over it. We're in a
elegance.
different time right
Women
now.
cheating
I'm not
is-
just
Get over it.
Yes, get
Her
over
and her
it.
friends on holiday all having sex.
I'm
Get
not
over it.
justifying the fact that her and her brethren.
The guy probably got some massive work, saved his whole life savings.
Yep.
You're
She
doing
just
the
put it on the
but
side.
this is why I
and she
said
was
in my
collecting one for
interview,
the
there's
team.
certain girls that don't deserve nice guys.
You don't. Hang on one sec. Hang on. You-
What did he say? He said she collected one for the team and put a rock on the side.
Come on, bro. Imagine you're grafting.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you're grafting. You spent 10 bags on that ring. Your girl's on holiday. How you doing? She finished the FaceTime with you. And then she's putting that ring on the table and she's collecting blows. She's collecting DDTs.
Okay, but men are bad. Like men
No.
are bad.
I would I'd rather be the man because a woman, and then after she's even texting the guy after. That's suicide. I'm jumping off a bridge. Do you know the damage?
I don't know. I feel like men do this. I'm sorry to say. I feel like men do this.
You're not the same as men.
I never said. I didn't say I would do that. But men do this.
Violating.
Men do this. No, we're not taking nothing.
No, I think they're talking about physically.
Yeah, physically.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do agree with
A woman
that.
opening up paying Ash.
Yeah, I do
And then
agree.
she's going to talk to the guy afterwards and be like, babe. He's like, yeah, what are you doing, babe? Like,
And then what were her friends saying?
Oh yeah, don't say nothing. Same time tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, I think that behavior there is not
Blows for the
normalized, boys or
team.
girls, man. I'm not supporting that like 100% in it, but
It's
it
wild.
is what it is, man.
Wow.
The only difference the only messed up thing she did there was speak on it.
You see that?
I need
Sometimes when you give them the rope, they'll just hang themselves. folks.
She hung herself. Hey, she hung herself.
Sometimes when you give them the rope, they'll just hang themselves, guys.
You see Sar's like that Magneto. He's like, keep talking. You just fed yourself. You just dangling it.
Hang on, wait. Let's see.
Position.
Let's see if she digs a deeper hole. Go on. What are you saying?
Oh.
I know what I'm trying to say anyway.
No, I want to know. Come on, let me know.
You need to
I know what I'm
explain.
trying to say. Like,
Explain.
I'm not condoning their cheating. And when I meant that it was more messed up after that they spoke.
More messed up. What about the whole thing?
Of course it's messed up, but what I'm trying to say is the only mistake that she should, if she was gonna cheat, she should have broken up with her man. Am I wrong for saying that?
Her reason for cheating was because he wasn't sexually satisfying her. It wasn't
so
it
when
wasn't
she-
sexually compatible.
So she should. So once she obviously, let's say they've been, for all we know, they could have been sleeping with each other this whole time, and she's now had this experience.
You're always gonna have better than what you currently have. That's the whole point.
That's
of discipline.
very true, but this seemed like a very, very good experience.
No, she's probably the
It
guy's really
seems-
bad.
She said
But
she
who's
was
to know?
She said she would the DLs. Listen, not everybody's got them techers. So it seemed like she was very.
So that makes an exception.
I think it makes an exception, but I think it would have been justified.
What about
But
if the guy?
rather than her doing this one secrecy, whatever she did with her brethren, the brethren are just as bad if they went to go do the same nonsense she did.
They all
by the way.
cheated.
But
Birds of a feather.
yeah, you understand.
And
but
that
what
guy's
she-
probably there saying, "Oh, I don't want you
The
going on
guy's
holiday
probably
with
short.
her. Oh,
He's
you're
watching
insecure.
the podcast
Guy's
with
probably
her.
short.
You're insecure."
Whatever happens. Girls don't cheat on guys just like that, trust me. It takes a lot for a chick to cheat on a guy, man.
Oh, come off it. Girls
Like,
don't cheat on guys just
women
because.
have cheated on you?
I've been cheated on.
How many, I said?
I don't know.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. Who knows really what they think people are going to tell you? Oh yeah, actually, by the way, I've cheated on you. I don't know how many.
That's the only mistake they would make.
And that's the difference in women. The problem with women is they go and admit they're cheating.
Because
that's the difference.
They ain't built like that. You're not built to hold in that kind of information.
That's the problem with women. The thing is, women have been in the game. They will do what they need to do. They've clocked the game. They can do it better than you guys. But the problem with women.
Why are you so?
Not all women, because I know some savages out there. They won't say nothing.
Yeah, but those are the.
They won't say nothing.
But there are men that are savages too, babe. There was one guy that I was dating. I'm not gonna get into him. I've mentioned his name before on back chat. It was his birthday. Did dinner for him. We went out, paid for it, had a nice night. The same day. He came from another girl's house that cooked for him in the same attire that he came to see.
You ain't beating fathering another man's child. I'm just saying that's the reality of a lot of men, not me though.
But all I'm saying is he men are savage. Like as far as I'm concerned, he slept with somebody else that morning who cooked for him. Then he made his way to me to go dinner in the same denim outfit.
Did he wash himself? What's going on?
How will I ever know? I found out about this encounter after, innit? So when I made the comment that I made about men not washing, everyone was all getting on to me. I'm only ever speaking on experience. I'm not trying to generalize all men. I was just speaking on experience.
Damn, I'm sorry that happened to you though.
It happens. It happens. Men are cheaters.
I'm gonna ask a question. Ladies, I'm gonna ask the ladies actually. Do you think you'd be happy being a housewife or being a boss?
Why can't I be a boss in my house?
Girl, give me back.
No, that's actually not the. You see the
boss? No, that's changing. That's pushing the goalpost.
Why not?
You just don't check.
You say boss of the house,
housewife, or a boss.
So wait, when you say housewife, do I have to have a husband?
I feel like
you have to have a husband. Obviously,
I feel like the housewife. If you want me to be really honest, if it's a full-time housewife, she would be the boss of that house. Let's be honest.
We are.
If I feel like that would be the case, but I feel like
when I say boss, I mean like outside of the house, boss of
so when you're
business.
in the working woman, maybe possibly on 10K more on the husband or what same salary. What we say?
I'm just saying you're a boss of a business, or would you prefer to be a housewife?
Depends on the person.
I think it depends on the person, but I think in this day and age, I think it's very, very hard to just be a housewife.
I would choose housewife.
Right.
Is that because
why?
I wouldn't choose housewife. I would choose.
Hang on, well, let me ask. Why would you choose housewife?
Because what I'm more passionate about is my children and my husband and looking after the home. And I think if my home isn't in order, then my man isn't in order. And if one of us has to give up to make sure that 24/7 I'm on job, you're fed, everything's happy, my man's happy, that makes me happy, then I would give that up. And my plan is to, isn't it, baby? To homeschool and be at home with the kids.
Look at that. Look at that.
Well, I'm the total opposite. Obviously, I don't have a man.
Now you.
I don't have a man. Thank you, darling. I don't have a husband.
One sec, guys.
I can't picture myself doing that. So even though a lot of people get onto me when I make these comments about men, it's not that, I don't need men. I never want to date a man. It's got nothing to do with that. Of course, I'm an attractive woman. I get more attention, but I can't see myself in that scenario right now because I'm not in a relationship.
But nevertheless, I would say from my perspective, and I'm saying this to actually encourage young women as well. I grew up in a council estate, South London, single parent family, you name it, typical. But I was like, I want to do better than what my mum done. And that's not a knock on my mother. Right. That's saying, I've seen how hard you work. What can I learn from that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So then, like speaking to my partner, I was like, right, I want to learn to be a consultant so I can work from home on a laptop. I want to learn to homeschool, so I'm going to go and get a teaching qualification. I'm going to put all these things into place so that I can be a boss in my house. I can be a boss housewife. So again, I think you can be both. Damn right.
Yeah.
I actually heard you say something on the interview that was done when you said that you don't like good guys.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I feel like I'm too much.
No.
What does that? Yeah. What does that mean? What does you being too much mean? So
I am probably, as much as we're like on this podcast together and we're talking about this topic right now, I probably fit into that category of women that we are actually discussing right now. Despite me agreeing with some of the...
So now we get to the reason why you've been defending it so hard. Go on.
I've agreed to some
What is it like? Do you just keep...
digging herself? Go on. Let her do it, guy. Let her do it.
I'm even trying to look at you.
Hello, I'm
Yo,
sitting
like-
right next to him. If I was sitting
Go on.
there,
Yeah, go on.
maybe it would be so much.
No, go on, go on.
Yasmin, you're
Why,
nothing
why,
like
why,
that.
why don't you like?
need
Why
to-
don't you like?
I don't personally feel like I'm that person. Anyone that knows me in real life knows exactly how I carry myself and what I do. However, the person that I am online, which is a character, this is who I am.
So why don't you like good guys?
Wait, what's the definition of a good guy? Babe?
Yeah.
Well, she said it.
No,
So you must know what a good guy is then.
I feel like a good guy, hardworking guy, 9 to 5, no trouble, quiet. Probably wouldn't have anywhere near the same type of engagement on social media like me. Android phone.
Android.
What?
What? I'm not like that's the equivalent of his Michelin comments. I'm not.
No, that's a new one. I'm not.
But I'm saying
That's,
that
that's
is-
a
Have you got
new
Android
one.
or iPhone?
Android.
I've got an iPhone.
You're big then, man. You not taking
No, but it's just a weird thing to
the
say.
girls that get it.
No, can you
The
explain?
emojis ain't emoji.
Yeah. Then
No,
you
no,
get
no.
it. You get it. You get it.
But why
Okay,
do
so
you
then
understand what she's saying? I
one
don't
second.
understand
So
why.
if you don't want a good guy, does that mean you want a bad guy?
Not necessarily. I actually don't want.
One second, guys, because we can't go on.
Not necessarily. I don't want a bad guy. I think where I am in life right now, I'm still trying to find myself.
You just want medium well.
I don't even know if I want medium well. I feel like I need to know who I am and what I want. You understand?
So what type of guy would that be then?
If not a nice guy.
What?
But not a bad guy.
See, even she's confused.
What do you mean not a nice
What's
guy?
going on?
Because I feel like I'm too much for them.
Yasmin, you need. Okay, this is. You can be open and right, yeah.
Okay.
This is why you should never listen to women. I'm so
Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Just- I'm gonna.
Women don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
I'm
But
gonna
go
be so
on.
rude with you. You believe that because you're forthcoming, you're very strong.
Yeah.
There's different types of people like that,
Yeah.
right? You just need to find someone who, and this is not me giving you relationship advice.
It seems like you are.
No, because I don't think.
Don't worry, I've been there for you.
You guys got a history, boy.
No, we're cool. You just need a guy that can take who you are, accept you for who you are,
Which is what a partner should do.
exactly, and add to you. If a guy is a good fit for you, you're not gonna be worrying about flipping. What the fuck does the answer? What the heck?
Sweet. What the heck?
What the heck is an Android thing gonna mean? What does that mean?
I know what it means.
No, please
She knows what it
elaborate.
means.
We
Get
want
him,
to
get him
know.
So hang on. Do you know what, guys?
wanna
Guys,
know.
Literally.
we have a super chat that says from Devon J that says, "Damn, these hoes ain't loyal."
But that's to do with that.
I'm assuming he's talking about that. I mean, what can
There ain't
what
no
can I
holes here,
say?
boy.
So
Thank you.
okay, so you don't want a good guy,
Yeah.
but you don't want a bad guy. So
I've been through a lot, so I've without
You're killing.
so you've
right-
been through a lot, or you've been through a lot.
That was a metaphor. That was definitely
Are we-
metaphoric.
I don't know. You said it.
Yasmin, that was very metaphoric. You need to correct that
Okay.
quick.
I've been through some things in life,
Okay.
and due to that, I don't feel like I'm in a place that I'm committed to a good guy. I think I still live a very
Crazy lifestyle.
not necessarily too crazy, but I don't feel like I'm tamed enough. And I can.
So you
accept
need
that.
someone to tame you.
I don't need someone to tame me. I just need to calm down. But my life is very busy at the moment, and I don't want to waste a guy's time. 9 to 5 guy. Good
So are you
guy.
wild then? Is what you're saying?
I can get wild. I could have been on the show. I could have reached out to Lani. I could have been on the show with everyone else. But there's a certain side to me. I've got a bit of balance. You understand? That's why I won't go for a bad guy.
Because you're too bad. There's too much bad.
Yeah. Two bads don't make a good, but a good and a bad, I feel sorry for the good.
The thing is that in a good way, it's self-reflection. You know who you are.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know what you're like. In another way, it's like sounds like there's a lot going on.
I just need to focus on myself. That's it. And right now,
A lot of women say that, you know.
we have to say that because that's how we keep ourselves strong. You
Ah.
understand?
And I think that's where the problem is. There is strength and vulnerability.
Yeah. So I think a lot of women.
You need to unpack that.
Yeah, but a lot of women struggle to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The times that I've been vulnerable online, or I've gone viral for being vulnerable, the comments compared to having a moment about talking about guys and the engagement is completely different.
I think
They don't
it's fake.
They don't care about, but they don't care about the soft side to me. They don't care about my abuse that I went through when I was 15. They don't care about the fact I suffered an ectopic pregnancy this year. They don't care about none of that. But the minute I come in here and talk about eating ass, Sukihana, I don't care about any of that type of whatever. That is the views. That is the engagement. So because that is what my name is surrounded by, I feel sorry for the next guy right now.
For your next guy?
That's the truth. That's why I'm not putting myself out there, because I'm not in a place right now that I can be that woman for him, because what is surrounding my name is just controversy.
Forget what's surrounding your name. What's surrounding you?
Forget
what's surrounding your name, because names people can be whoever, but what is surrounding you?
There's a lot to unpack. But unfortunately, when it comes to social media, you have to have that barrier of your reality and what's for the viewers. Do you understand? So
you're saying that you're going to struggle to let a guy in, basically?
At the moment, definitely. Most definitely.
But that's better than her getting into a relationship.
Listen, I'm for self-reflection and understanding who you are.
What these nonsense girls are doing, do you understand? I know myself. I know myself. You understand? I know where I'm at. I'm not attracting them bad boys. I don't want to eat no one's ass. You understand?
Pulse.
I don't want to eat anyone's ass, but at the same time, I'm not in the space for a good guy. I will probably break his heart.
So where does you're saying all that now, and I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So if you're now saying you're speaking on behalf of them?
On behalf of who? Sorry, I'm not saying that thing. On behalf of who?
Like you're speaking on your traumas in terms of you can identify with some of them. Then where do you start? How do you change that? How do you make that better? Because like you said, there's strength and vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
So that's also kind of self-accountability, self-reflection, and so on and so on.
I think most Black women, and I know this is typical what I'm going to say, but I that's why I keep putting myself in this category of women that we're speaking about. But a lot of us do have a lot of trauma that we have not unpacked, and we don't seem to really understand how long this healing process takes until we reach our adult years, until we reach our 30s. Do you understand? We sit here and talk about the producer of the show, but on a personal level, I know she's been through some stuff that has probably contributed to why she is the way she is today, and why she chooses to put out
to portray this kind of
stuff. Does
that
make any sense?
Yeah?
I can relate. I'm not
because hurt people.
There you go.
So shouldn't she be then held accountable for her actions in terms of spreading out her trauma?
It's hard to be held accountable when you're in denial that you're still hurting. I'm gonna be very honest. Lani is still hurting.
Yo, I didn't say nothing.
With a lot of things that I'm not gonna disclose. She's still hurting, and this is her way out. You understand? This is her comfort. This is her breakthrough. Do you understand? So I'm not defending the show, but on a personal level, what her vision, I get it. This is a big thing for her. This is a success. And we can sit here and cuss all these girls all we want, but all we're doing is giving exactly what she was trying to get from us.
Cool. All right, let's wrap up because we've been doing this for a while. I'm gonna get your last thoughts. Mark, what's your last thoughts on Black women and feminism?
I think they need to find a new cause. I think they need to check themselves and hold themselves accountable for a lot of the misdirected energy. And that comes from discipline. When you come to understanding that discipline is literally the number one key to a lot of things, then you can start making changes, correct yourself. Listen, none of us are perfect, and I accept that. Even me, as I'm talking, shit's out there about me. Most of it is trauma. Do you understand? From a perspective. So what makes me sad is I have a daughter, right? And the way I look at it is we have the power to be able to change our future, right? So how does that start? You start from home. Charity begins from home. Do you understand? Sometimes if it means you need to separate from your own mother because the energy, or your own father, because the energy that they're pouring into you isn't something that's literally beneficial, then separate. You only owe your parents or certain people what they gave you, which is life, to some degree. But you owe yourself the best possible opportunity to make it out of there. You understand? Because let's face it now, if my daughter ends up in any of these shows or ends up as a baddie or she's one of these girls that were cheating, I'll be disgusted. I'll be ashamed because I feel like I've failed as a parent, as as also as a black person. So the best thing I can do for her is try to give her the best platform to learn from. Who's teaching where she came from, what is expected. I can't teach her how to be a woman because I am not a woman. Do you understand? So that's what I'd expect her mother or impressionable, very important women figures, black women figures, to teach her. It takes a village to raise a child. So let's start with ourselves. Let them start with themselves. And they have to have discipline. They have to care. They have to invest that time. Find the time.
Okay. What's your thoughts on black women and feminism?
I'm not gonna lie, how do I top that?
Isn't it?
Yeah. And you took all my little points as well. I'm not happy about that one. So yeah, separate to elevate. I would say, first and foremost, feminism and black women, it doesn't serve black women, full stop. So I think we need to accept that and jump off that. I don't identify as a feminist for that precise reason either. In regards to, again, what I was going to say, similar to Mark, is when you come from certain environments, it's crabs in a bucket. And you got to remember the people around you aren't always trying to uplift you. So similar, if it's your mother, it's your father, your father, your family, you have to remember that sometimes you need to separate to elevate. And you can always go back to your village with the lessons that you have learned and the wisdom you have learned, and then grow from that. Yeah, each one teach one. So I would just say, regarding the things we've discussed today, is just, you are authentic. You have your own mission in this world. Be true to yourself. Do not follow nothing, because ain't nobody you. And just stay disciplined. That's the main thing. The best thing to do is not the easiest thing to do. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it, and it wouldn't be worth doing.
Nice. Yasmin, black women and feminism.
I'm gonna keep it nice and quick because I feel like I've done a lot of talking. But we've got black women, we've got feminism, and as much as people think I'm a feminist, I'm not. But I am a black woman, and all I'm just gonna say is just allow us to be free. There is a story behind it, and just take your time to get to know what that story is before making your opinion. If you get to know what the story is and you have then you can make your opinion, go for it. But just research and just know what you're saying before you comment on these women and just manipulate and dictate that everything they're doing is to do with feminism. Because you know what? Some of it is from trauma. Some of it is, PTSD. Some of it is different cultures. Like I said, in America, they're doing things completely different to how we're doing things here. So just do your background check before you assume that black woman is a feminist, or what she's doing is, representing feminism. Because I felt like there were some points that you made about feminism, and I don't necessarily believe that black women, that's what we're trying to really put out there. I think we've got a bigger fight and a bigger message, but we are just not putting it out in the right way. That's what I believe.
Okay. Before we finish, there's one last super chat before I finish. From Devon J again. He said, "My wife and I have 3 sons. We all carry the time. And we all worry the time. Hold on, I can't even speak. And we worry all the time about who their future spouses are going to be in this day and age." Listen, I'm there. I'm there with you. In closing, black women feminism. Guys, first of all, thank you for all tuning in. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all that watched live. My last thoughts on black women and feminism is that black women.
I swear to God, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching his lips and everything.
Black women.
Flag.
Black women.
Wait, can we have the red flag, please?
No, it's mine.
We can't have one each.
No, black women and feminism. Hang on 1 second. I'm doing my final thoughts. Black women and feminism. I don't believe it's, just like you said, I don't believe it's their fight. I believe that the family unit is black men and women's strongest thing to be doing at this moment in time. I think that anything within society that stops that family unit from progressing is anti-life and it's anti-family. And so for that, I would say that I am not for black women and feminism. That's my final thoughts. But I will say this. Guys and girls, if you've enjoyed the show, right, and you want to get involved in this show and you want to be part of the panel, then you can inbox me on my Twitter, on my Facebook, or on my Instagram. If you, guys and girls, want to come and get this smoke.
No.
Oh my god.
Peace out.
Oh Lord.